So these are the three things I'm doing right now to increase my business, or to at least increase leverage on the activities that I'm currently doing. Now, Claude Skills is a complete game changer, right? Claude Code, Claude Skills, complete game changer. So before, the bottleneck was knowledge, right? You'd have to hire maybe an agency if you wanted creatives. You'd have to maybe hire a sales team. You'd have to bring on people. It's a very resource intensive. And unfortunately, for the smaller businesses, they don't have that. They don't have the resource, aka the money, to be able to outsource a lot of that. So they have to bring it in house, or they have to do it all themselves, right? The founder at least has to do all these things himself, right? Wearing multiple hats, as they say. So the three things are this: number one, get Claude Skills. Okay, so download the skills. Now there's tons of repos. Be careful of what you're actually downloading, but there's tons of repos out there that they have actually packaged skills for you, right? So having access to a skill such as SEO is fantastic, because what's happening is that a lot of LLMs, right? We have the AEO, agentic engine optimization, or answer engine optimization. A lot of businesses are going to start looking through these AI tools. So what I did was I looked for an SEO skill, and again, you would spend thousands, depending on what agency you're going with, or depending on who you're going to do it. But you'd spend thousands to get SEO material done for you, right? And it would take a lot of time, right? I mean, in the agency space, even for you to get creatives, it would take weeks to get a few creatives back, because they would have to ping pong between the designer. You'd have to bring it back. You'd have to get the okay from the business. Then you have to maybe go back to the designer for improvements or iterations. It takes a while. Now you can get a marketing skill, which is and you can even implement on that skill, right? Just like you would in life, right? Like if you're learning a skill, if you're learning to play a sport, the skill keeps adapting because you keep learning new information over time. You can do that with the skill. You can actually edit the memory of the skill, and then you can always have it updating, right? You can always have a new version given the knowledge that you're getting. So I got an SEO skill. This thing wrote out a bunch of pages for me. And so I'm trying to optimize for the SEO. So you should be trying to optimize for the SEO side as well, more specifically the AEO side. But you do have to do traditional kind of SEO for these LLMs to pull your business name and put them in there, because two of the most common sources that they're pulling from are Reddit and YouTube. So what you also have to do is you want to become, as Neil Patel will say, it's search everywhere optimization. Right now, you are getting the tools to be able to do that, because I think content is king, and you want to kind of double down on that right now. You want to expand your reach, essentially just throwing the net, and your reach is becoming insane, right? So imagine you're on LinkedIn, imagine you're on YouTube, imagine you're on X. And before again, it took a whole team, and you'd spend thousands and thousands of dollars per month on a whole team. Now you can kind of you can kind of start at the top of the pyramid, which for me is YouTube, because video, kind of the trickle down effect of having video is insane. So I start with video, and then you can parse that, you can tear that apart, you can go into the written, audio, and all the other vehicles. Number two is just straight up ads. Again, you can get a copywriting skill, you can get a ad generator skill to help you create this, because again, historically, it took a lot of bandwidth to come up with a bunch of creative to X, Y, and Z. It took a lot of time as well. So now you can just download the skill from a repo, whoever. You can even create it. If you have that expertise, you can just create it yourself. And there's massive leverage with these skills. So every time you encounter a problem, I've said this before, every time you encounter a problem, you have to go to these LLMs and ask, like a colleague, like you would if you were at work. You maybe go to your boss, you go to the individual that is an expert in that domain, and you'd say, hey, I need help with this. What's the best route to do it? You need to start doing that with LLMs, right? Everyone's talking about the individual who's going to win this kind of AI. The new era here is high agency individuals. You need to have agency, which means, if the LLM says, hey, I can't, like sometimes it just doesn't give you what you're looking for. Some people just stop there, right? Or some people are not even using these tools. You need to be able to proactively ask and proactively start spearheading a lot of this stuff. Okay. Because again, a lot of the stuff you will encounter, no one has really encountered before, right? Because not everyone is using AI just yet. So, skills are a complete game changer. So anything you're having issues with, you can pretty much make that a skill. You can pretty much make that a workflow, X, Y, and Z. So you're gonna have leverage, save time, make more money within your business or whatever. So, create an ads skill if you are running paid material. Do that. And that goes hand in hand with your organic, right? You have these buckets. You have organic, you have paid, and those together are a beautiful combo. And number 3 would just be simple app design or micro SaaS. So, I think we are seeing the death of SaaS, right? There's SaaS everywhere now, but you're gonna get to a point where instead of paying maybe thousands of dollars, you're actually just going to want to build it yourself, because you can actually fine tune it for that very, very specific problem you're having that maybe, the other tool didn't really optimize for. So now what you can do is, if your clients are having specific problems, even if you are having specific problems, you can start developing that with some easy freaking tools, right? You can use Claude Code, you can use Superbase, you can use Vercel, all these other tools that help you really actually start developing literally your own micro SaaS for the problems you are having. All right. So start optimizing for those 3. You'll get more awareness, you'll make more money, and you'll save more time. As always, I'll see you next time. Take care.